Let's get started. Okay, welcome everyone for the next SUG Coimbatore for an auspicious event. I would like to give an introduction about the SUG Coimbatore. We are a Sitecore enthusiasts who have a passion about the Sitecore and then Sitecore related products. We are here to gather the people who have an interest on Sitecore and then collaborate and then sharing the knowledge to the all developers and all the community peoples. So along with me, one second, yeah. So we are the organizers of SUG Coimbatore. Prabhu Ranganathan, who is a psycho architect who has more than a decade of experience in the industry. And then Gautam Iswaramurthy, who is a psycho lead. And then he has more than 9 years of experience in the industry. And then myself, Vignesh Jyotikumar. I have more than 8 years of experience in the industry, and then I'm working as a Sitecore lead. And then today's the another interesting topic, Sitecore, XM Cloud, and Gradial. So our speakers is Prabhu and then Gautam. So I'm just handing over the sessions to Gautam and Prabhu. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you,
thanks.
Vignesh.
Thanks, Vignesh. So Prabhu, can you share the slide?
Yeah, sure. So can you see the screen right now?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Can you go to the first slide?
Just one minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. So good morning, everyone. Thanks everyone for joining for the session. Thank you so much for taking the time to join our user group. Myself, Gautam, and I'm a Sitecore senior software engineer, and I was awarded with the Sitecore MVP for 2024. And I have been working in Sitecore from last 9 years. So for the next 45 minutes, we want to talk about two things that genuinely got excited about Sitecore again after more than a decade. Two things that we are going to talk about. One is Sitecore XM Cloud, and another one is Gradial. So Sitecore finally gets out with the infrastructure on the SaaS platform, and Gradial, the AI tool, is legitimately going to solve the content block bottleneck that has been killing personalization for years. So before we get started, I would like to say, this is not a marketing presentation. This is kind of an developer to developer or architect to architect PPT that we are going to show you how, we have on challenges, how we got through some of our challenges while we are doing the POC things. So that's what we are going to do. And today's agenda is we'll be talking about the DXP platform and the gradual migration strategy, the AI accelerator, and how we put in all together for a kind of an POC. And then we will be having a Q&A session. Yeah. So for the part one, we are going to talk about the SaaS DXP and everything we know about after, is only possible because of what, we are about to show you now. So thing is, yeah. So what is Sitecore XM Cloud? Sitecore, we had we had an experience of working on Sitecore XP earlier, and I know everyone um had an worst case, when we are going for live or before going live, something will crash, either the solar will be getting outage, or other CM will not be talking to the seed instance, all those things. So that finally had Sitecore have resolved that by hosting themselves all the infrastructure on their own. So that's cloud native SaaS. So they take care of all your services and servers. You don't want to worry about going on a last moment, like going for live. They take care of all your infrastructure. You just need to focus on coding and building the components for the Sitecore, and it gives us a leverage for the developers to focus only on the developing instance and not to worry about all the infrastructure, all those things. And it isn't composable in Architect, so which means so this is an API first design. You can interact with any of a component with the API, either with the GraphQL endpoints, or XML calls that you can do. You can fetch the data from the GraphQL, and using that you will actually can create a headless architecture. You don't want to go with you don't want to rely on one particular technology, like how we used to be on the .NET. We just need to create a view, all those things, but now you can go with the headless thing. um so content is 100% decoupled from the presentation delivery through the experience edge. The global edge is cached by a GraphQL and REST endpoint, that makes your site more faster, and visitors can barely see the latency between the page loads, all those stuffs. And yeah, so XM Cloud versus XP. So when you were we were in XP, like I said, we were in the era, we have to sit on work for a long time for resolving any server issues that comes up on the ninth hour. And you have to all you have to sit up with all your team, infrastructure team, and architect, developer, everyone had to look into the issue. You don't need for if it is a server issue, you exactly not sure it is a server or a development issue. You have to look into the things. And sometimes if there is a migration things going on, you have to prepare all your teams, all put together, and you have to do all the things. If there is any patch releases by Sitecore, you should have all the team members to be sit along with you for deploying the things. So that was painful earlier. But on the right side of XM Cloud, if you see, is so they take care of everything for you. If you want to do an migration, it will be on the back end. You don't know what they are going do with improvisation on the XM Cloud. For instance, so recently Sitecore has announced the Sitecore AI. So they have migrated from Sitecore XM Cloud to Sitecore AI. So if it is a case of Sitecore XP, you have to spend up more than 3 months or 4 months to do all those migration, all those things from you. But in XM Cloud, then it is now as a Sitecore AI was easy, painful. In a night of shift, they have shifted everything from Sitecore XM Cloud to Sitecore AI. That's the main uh, you know plus point that we have on the Sitecore XM Cloud. All the infrastructures, updates, patch things, everything will be taken care by the Sitecore itself. And yeah, can you go to the next slide, Prabhu? Yeah. So the shift between the PaaS and SaaS, like earlier, XP, you have to host it on up to a level you can do is PaaS. And now, with the XM Cloud or Sitecore AI, you will be land up in the SaaS. Most of us right now are living in where past limbo, we had earlier. It is an issue, but still provision app service. We still size and tune SQL database. We still get surprised on the billing for each instance, and we have to have all the logging mechanisms, everything. You have to have at least, if when you are drawing an architectural diagram, you should have at least 30 to 40 boxes, how your data will flow from one place to another, what care of things. So that was an issue. You have to have a disaster recovery. You have to have someone had to work around the clock for monitoring the website, and any alerts coming up in runs out of memory, and the personalization crashes, SQL scaled up. All those things were earlier on the XP. That's how it was in the past. But on the XM Cloud, it's a beautiful black box. Sitecore hands on your endpoint. It has 99.9% SLA time and global delivery experiences. You don't want to worry about the all those CDN things that we have to do. It is they have the edge across the globe. and your operational overhead drops from full-time job to like once a week or sometime like you don't want to worry about like how the infrastructures they are maintained. It's their responsibility. They will take care of everything for you. And I have personally seen teams to go from 4 full-time Sitecore ops people down to scale down to 0 because the ops team literally it doesn't require for the XM cloud because the Sitecore takes care of everything. And yeah, if so far anyone has any questions for now? I guess that's a no. Yeah. Sen, can you go to the next? Yeah. So the gradual strategy. Um, so if you are like, so we all agree XM Cloud is absolutely obviously the destination, fantastic. But here is the monolithic, you know, million dollar. Here is the $1 million question. Nobody wants to ask aloud. So how the hell do you get from your current XP monolithic to a big bang rebuild that makes everyone hate us? That's where the Sitecore introduced a gradual migration strategy, and then immediately confused the entire community with the naming that I still can't believe got approved. So the gradual is this is a migration. There is key difference between gradual and gradual. So this is your migration methodology and incremental phase of approach from adapting to XM Cloud. They will be moving contents or components, everything from XM Cloud, XP to XM Cloud. Okay, and Gradial is an AI marketing tool that separates the third-party product integrates with the XM Cloud. So it uses the automate way of content creation from XM Cloud, sorry, XM XP to XM Cloud. Um, yeah. So the gradual migration path. So now that we have crystal clear on the naming, what was the gradual and actually look in the real world. It is a phased, low risk evaluation, not a flip and the switch up switch project. Here is how it works. Like just give you an example with you know the um, the diagram we have. So you can start decoupling your front end today, even when you are still around on 100% XP. Build a brand new in XJS front end that talks to your existing XP instance via the classic layout service. Um, you are headless on day one, but zero content has moved yet. And the step two is you stand up XM Cloud in parallel. You can start moving the content models and individuals sites one by one. Maybe you begin with the corporate blog or campaign microsite that what you have on a single country site. You rebuild the content architecture in XM Cloud, point your front end and experience edge for those URLs, and run the whole new in parallel. So step three, repeat until the old XP instance is basically just as a legacy system you can sunset whenever the leadership is ready. Um, so then, so let's say, for example, if you are working with a global bank right now, doing exactly the same playbook, the main corporate site is still on XP, somewhere, let's say, for example, 10.30, 10.3, handling that their current production. The brand new sustainability of report Microsoft microsite launched on XM Cloud 4 months ago. Same domain, different paths, zero downtime, zero drama. Um, they are delivering value a single quarter instead of being in the dark side of 2 years. Um, this is the gradual section where we are now perfectly setting up a main level of Gradial. And can you go to the next slide, Prabhu? Yeah. So now the next slide is like let's deep dive into Gradual, like how we're doing the content migration things, and yeah, Prabhu will take care of from here.
Yeah, thank you, Gautam.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for the wonderful sessions about informations about the XM Cloud and the migration path strategies and all. Thank you for that. And let's come into the real picture, the main event, the gradual. So like what is Gradual is very important thing to understand at this moment. So that everyone knows how to integrate that with Sitecore and how it works and why do we need to integrate. So there were many questions in our mind, and when we are clearing out to understand what is Gradual is very important. So it's a third-party AI marketing workflow platform. It's not a Sitecore product, but it's built for Sitecore ecosystem. And its entire purpose is to be the AI brain. Assume there is an AI brain that sits inside your content operations. And it integrates directly with XM Cloud and with Sitecore Content Hub to automate, scale, and govern your content. Assume this. So this is the tool that designed to solve the content bottleneck, right? So that's very important area everyone facing the pain points, right? Any marketing team or any content author who knows the pain of that. So when we're going with the Gradual, we understand how valued it is. And so we understand what is Gradual right now, and so what problem it solves, and what are the bottlenecks. I think we it is very important to understand, because every section in any any CMS or any marketing tool or any website, so there were a lot of bottlenecks, and it's very important any product which introduced in the market which helps to solve the pain points. So the Graduals here, what are the problems it will solve is, like, one is content velocity and another is content relevance and the content inconsistency. So as an architect, we often hear these pain points, right? These three is main pain points every website is facing it. Content velocity, for example, marketing is under constant pressure, like to create more and more and more campaigns, more blog posts, more landing pages, and more variations. And they simply cannot keep up manually. It's very hard, right? In case if it is a minimal website, it's completely fine. When sites started growing up and keeping everything up manual is it's a tedious one. And the other part is content relevance. This is the personalization promise. Like, we all want to deliver one-to-one personalization. That's in today's world, even from Amazon, Flipkart, or any other shopping cart, or even any other websites, that would expect the one-to-one personalization. That meets the customer's expectation. So, but that means for 10 audience segment, and you need to 10 variations, 10 versions of the hero banner, for example, and the manual effort explodes exponentially. So personalization is a content problem, and manual creation is the bottleneck here. So the other part is content inconsistency. So finally, it's a governance issue. How do you ensure all 10,000 pages of your site use the new brand voice? For example, how do you check all the product description have the correct SEO keywords in order to find and replace a specific word or specific voice, a specific tone in your entire website? So how do you handle that? It's impossible to go through all the pages and change that. So it leads to your error prone to the manual risk and manual task. So these are all the key pain points everyone is currently facing in their website world, and that's where the Gradual comes in. So the Gradual, it's just not a chat GPT window. It's an enterprise platform with 4 key capabilities. One is AI content generation. So this is one we all expected, right? Like, write me a blog post about X, and it writes a blog for us, right? That's how it's integrated using your own content as a context. Like, every time you should not go into the AI tools like ChatGPT or anything else and getting the content and copy paste. Instead of that, having the same set of capability within your application, which is completely relevant and providing the content relevant to your application. So that's very important here. So the content generation that Gradual will do. And the bulk content operation is another exciting feature here, because as an architect, I know and I understand this. For example, find and replace. Identifying the particular keyword, as I mentioned earlier, particular keyword or key or a specific word, and replace that with a new one. So this ability to run on the AI job, what it will do in the backend is it actually the ability to run the AI job across thousands of items, update the tone of all the product pages, and add this new complaints disclaimer to all service pages. So this is a massive operational win, because currently the pain point here is uh, when the site started growing up, having more than 500,000, 10,000 pages in a website, and completely identifying the specific tone or word and replacing with a new one is completely uh, not 100% possibility with a short period of time, but Gradual will do within a few minutes or few hours of time. And the next one is content scoring and auditing. This is a checkup, like Gradual can read your content and score it against your rules. So how many of your pages match your expert brand voice, for example, and which pages are missing our key SEO terms. So it finds the problems and for you, and analyze the content and putting the scoring and auditing it and scoring it, the content for you. The other part is workflow automation. So and this is the glue actually. It's not a separate app. It integrates directly into your Sitecore approval workflows. Run AI check becomes a non-negotiable step before approve publish. So that is very important, right? So that we understand, I mean, to validate the content that we are going to publish. That's very important feature. So these are the main core capabilities Gradual has. So which is completely helpful for us to make the content more easy. And okay, so the thing what we have understand so far is looks so beautiful, but how the Gradual integrates. So whether it's very complex to integrate, or how customization is required. So those stuff will always comes into our mind, right? So Gradual is it's not just a plugin. Uh, it's a it's not a old school DLL. We drop the DL into the bin folder. This is a modern composable API to API integration. That's very important feature here, and it respects the headless nature of the stack. And this flow is simple. Gradual actually reads the content from XM Cloud via the API, and it executes the AI jobs, which rewriting, generating, variation, scoring in its own environment. So it does everything in its own environment. Then it writes a new or updated content back to the XM Clouds API. So creating a new version of a draft or a draft. So it's sending it as a new version or a draft, sending back to the XM Cloud. So this is only major three steps which involves in the Gradual flow, and this is safe, auditable process. The AI doesn't just go rogue and publish the content. It's not blindly go and publish the content. It respects the Sitecore versioning and workflow, ensuring that human is always in the loop for final approval. So it's not direct. We can even customize. It's not going directly publish into the website and everyone able to view it. It's not in the way. It goes through the workflow, and there is some human would to validate that and approve. That's how it goes. So it sounds interesting, right? And so before going to the use case, do you have any questions so far on the question? Okay, I'll take note. So I think we have two different use cases right now. I would like to go through it. One is the bulk content refresh. For example, in case if the website is as a major rebrand, and so when we're going to the rebrand, marketing team is always in a panic because it's not a easy task to it. The brand new voice has to change from playful to authoritative across all 500 of our product pages. For example, it's a scenario. So there is a brand voice. It should change the tone from playful to authoritative, and it should change across all our 500 pages. So in case if we are doing that in a manual way, what we should do, like we put a lot of editors, assign more editors and manually identify all the pages and manually changing. Maybe we will be using the giant spreadsheet to note down all the pages and writing the checklist and changing one by one. Might be take months and months of effort. For example, it may take 3 months of effort, right? In case if you're integrated with the Gradual, so what we can do is we teach Gradual the new authoritative brand voice by giving it examples, and we point Gradual at the find product pages in XM Cloud and run the age one bulk A job, saying rewrite these items in the new voice. That's all. Gradual creates 500 new drafts and send back to us. It maybe takes weeks of effort, not months of effort. So our editors are no longer writes. They are just reviewers. They don't need to write anything or they need to update anything. All they need to do is once the draft is coming back to XM Cloud, they need to review it. That they review and approve the drafts. And so the 3 months project is becoming a week project. It's a kind of a game changer, right? Everything is coming. I mean, even the resource point of view, cost wise, everything right now is rapid way. So it's very interesting one. I believe it's a game changer. So another use case is AI-powered personalization. This is another one which is solving the personalization bottleneck. For example, so we want to personalize our homepage hero banner for 3 different audiences, like IT manager, a marketer, and a developer. So how would we do in the world way? Like we file a ticket. A copywriter has to go to manually create 3 different component variations, and it's a kind of a slow process. Like we have to create the variations, and so in case if in future if we want to add one more segment or fifth segment, so it doesn't scale right every time. It is a manual effort. But in case if you are going with a gradual way, so the content editor writes one basic headline, and right inside the XMPlot pages editor, they click Gradual button, they type a prompt, create 3 variations for an IT manager, a marketer, and a developer. Boom. Gradual generates the text, means it populates the component variations. The complete bottleneck is gone right now. Personalization is now present with the 3 different variations. So we can now do the personalization at scale for 4th segment or 5th segment, whatever it is. So this is how it goes when we're going with the Gradual part. So the next is, so now we see the platform, the XM Cloud, we have seen the accelerator Gradual. Let's put it all together. So what does our new architecture looks like? So it's completely on my understanding. So this is how I see the modern Sitecore stack, but built from the bottom up. So layer 1 is core services. At the bottom are our source of truth, right? So content hub for our assets, a search provider, or CDP for audience data. And the layer 2 is composition and AI. This is the new engine room. XM Cloud manages the content, and Gradual plugs right into the augment, automate, and govern the content. And layer 3 is a delivery path. This is a single global API bond experience edge. And layer 4 is a front end. This is the head, right? It presents the content. So it is the head. Our next app probably hosted on Versal or Netlify, consuming the content from the edge. And layer 5 is audience, like it's maybe, and finally the end user consuming the content from on any channel, like a website, mobile, or apps, or anything. So this is the modern and composable AI accelerator architecture. So this is how, where the Gradual actually gets into the picture. And so we are coming to the final thoughts on this. Before getting into that, so for getting into that, right now, the Gradual is about talking about Gradual, a few more nutshell points, like is an always on autonomous and autonomous AI marketing operation crew that owns execution end to end. It doesn't assist your team. It replaces 80% of the repetitive work your team hates. Like it's actually helps to reduce the repetitive work, and Gradual will take over that and do it for you. That's the main motto of utilizing the Gradual here. And for example, in case update the 250 product pages with the new pricing and new promotional batches, new SEO titles, new meta with 100% complaint, 100% on brand. So in case if you're going with any campaign team or developer or whoever it is, they will at least take 4 to 6 days and sitting 6 to 80 hours of human time and spending dollars and dollars of uh, spending in labor charge and launch that still ships late, right? Even it take 4 to 6 days is late. Now the reality with some cloud plus Gradual, it may not take more, not more than 4 to 5 minutes. Even if in case if you're integrating with a Slack, and so what they can do is just sending the message in the Slack saying, hey, build this stuff and take, I'm giving the Figma link. And in case a director itself, from company director itself putting the Figma link and just review this image and creating 3 different variations for this, sending the message through Slacks, automatically creation picks up and create all 3 different segments and it's ready to send back to us a draft. Even the director directly verifies it and everything looks fine. They just publish it. That's it. So it may take not more than 5 minutes, right? Just sending a message and Gradual will do it for you and send back to you. You will be publishing it to the website. It's not a big deal, right? So these are all the main factor we would like to suggest to go to Gradual. It completely reduced more than 90 to 95% reduction in the content deployment time and fewer marketing ops bodies required for the execution and the ability to test more ideas instead of spending on content generation. So the team can focus on different areas. So it's a very obviously required right now in the world. So this is the main important thing we would like to introduce about the Gradual to the community. And so when coming to the final summary about the key takeaways. So I think the XM Cloud, I think Gautam had explained beautifully about how the XM Cloud platform works. It's a completely headless, composable, and SaaS foundation. I would take care of the complete platform and only the application that we built on top sitting on that, and we are only worrying about the application. That's the beauty of XM Cloud's hybrid CMS. And the Gradual strategy, also here I had mentioned clearly how the migration strategy evolved from XP to XM Cloud, those stuffs. And the Gradual is an AI tool, how it actually accelerate the plugs into the platform to automate your marketing and content workflows. So these three, the platform, strategy tool, XM Cloud, Gradual, and Gradual, all those three distinct, and you are in case if you all have 3 and you are 90% of the way there. So, and that's all about the session today. And in case if you guys have any questions, you can shoot us with us.
Yep. If you have any questions, you can ask in the chat, or else Prabhu and Gautam are available in all the social medias like LinkedIn, and you can contact them. And then Gautam and Prabhu, it was a wonderful session. And then it has more deep knowledge on the new technologies which has been recently released in Sitecore at Gradual. So thanks for the session. Once again, thank you.
Yep.
All.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you,
all.
everyone. Thanks for all your time.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.